The following program is intended for the health and wellness of Palm Beach County Fire Rescue firefighters and paramedics. The advice and information contained in this programming may not be appropriate for all individuals. The producers, employees, company, affiliates, or other parties involved in the creation or promotion are not responsible for any injuries or health conditions that may result from the advice represented. This information is not a replacement for medical advice. You should consult a physician before starting any diet or exercise program. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hook the O2 for a second, get it out of the way.
Hello, I'm Tara Cardoso, and welcome to Critical Minutes, Palm Beach County Fire Rescue's medical and wellness program for firefighters and paramedics. You know, when you prepare and cook meals at home, you have better control over the nutritional content and the overall healthfulness of the foods you eat. So here are some tips for some sensible home-prepared meals.
Hi, and welcome to this segment of Wellness Watch. We're here today with Melissa Drappi, who's going to teach us that being prepared is the key to healthy eating. Hi, Melissa. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. So, I have a little issue.
Okay.
I don't ever eat breakfast. Well,
Okay.
I don't eat until like 10 o'clock in the morning.
And what time do you get up?
Yeah, I get up at like 6 a.m. I usually work out, and then I take my
Okay.
daughter to school, but by the time I get to work and start doing stuff, you forget about eating. So it's like
Right.
10 o'clock, I'm like, oh, I'm starving. And I'll eat maybe a protein bar,
Okay.
a green juice, whatever, something
Things
like that.
sound healthy.
Right, yeah, and it sounds like it's not horrible, not,
Right.
fast food, but it's still not like, it's not fresh food.
It's not
you know what I mean?
fresh
The
food.
juice is good,
Sure.
but the juice doesn't have any real protein. It goes kind
Or
of through
fi-
you.
or fiber.
No fiber. There's no
Right.
fiber in it.
All
So I need you to help me.
All right. Well, we can do that. I have plenty of things that you can make ahead of time when you have a little time.
Right.
And that you can freeze or put in the fridge, and things that you can, take out of the fridge, pop in the toaster, eat on the turnpike on your way to work.
Okay.
Anything like that.
That's good.
All right. So
The
let's get
turnpike,
started.
I take the turnpike every day.
Okay. So the first thing I do is I call them egg muffin cups. All right,
Okay.
easy enough. You can really do anything you want. Eggs are a really good protein source.
Yes.
A lot of people say they're actually the healthiest food on earth because they have lots of minerals, lots of protein, lots of vitamins, no carbs, and some fiber.
No carbs.
Okay, no
Everybody
carbs.
likes no carbs
Everybody
today.
likes no carbs. It's
Yes.
a big thing. High fat, no carbs. So what I do is I make these egg muffin cups.
Okay.
That's what I call them. And eggs are really one of the most healthiest food on earth. They have lots of minerals, lots of vitamins, lots of protein, no carbs. That's a big thing.
No
High
carbs.
protein,
Big thing,
low
no carbs.
That's what's going to keep you full in the morning.
Okay.
Right, and kind of get us going.
I like that.
So you can modify this any way you want. This is the way I like it. So on the top of the stove, I make some spinach, some tomatoes, some mushrooms, some cheese, whatever you want, and I skillet it up in some coconut oil or olive oil or whatever you like. All
Okay.
right, so that's done on top of the stove. I don't know, 5 minutes at the most. Then what I do is I take a muffin tin. Okay,
Okay.
you can use regular muffin tins, you can use the mini muffin tins, or you can use the large muffin tins.
Okay.
However big you want your egg. I like things in the middle, so I'm using the middle one. And what you do is I take that mixture from my skillet and I put it into each.
But wait a minute, do you use like these little cup things?
You can. You could spray this.
Okay.
And just put it right in there. Or these are the made ones. These are just silicone wrappers. You can use
Okay.
paper wrappers. You can use whatever you like. I like these because it doesn't go to landfills and we can reuse them.
Very nice, very nice.
So that's what I do. And then what I do is in a separate teeny little bowl, I'll crack an egg. Whisk it up, and then I pour it in. Crack an egg, whisk it up, and pour it in.
So a whole egg for each thing.
Whole egg for each
Okay.
one. Now if you're doing the mini ones, it's half an egg for each one.
Right, 'cause it's not
Just
enough
depends
room.
how you like. If you're doing this for kids, the mini ones are great. Great for them. All right, so you do that, and then you put it in the oven at 375 for 20 minutes.
Sounds good.
All right, now I will warn you, when you take it out, they're about this high.
Okay.
Yeah, like they're way above, but they go down in about 5 minutes.
Okay.
All right, and then what I do, because I want to freeze these now, because I make pretty much 2 trays at a time. All
Very
right, and
good.
I eat 2 in the morning. Each one is about 80 calories.
Okay.
Okay, so like 160 calories, great breakfast.
Excellent.
And I put them in tin foil, and I like tin foil because then I just wrap them up. All right, and then I put them in the freezer. All right,
Okay.
now, the reason I like tin foil, you can use a baggie, anything like that, but I like tin foil because then when I take it out of the freezer and put it in the toaster, you use the same thing.
Perfect.
Okay?
Time saver.
Time saver.
Very
and
good.
then this is a very, very easy thing to eat on the turnpike or at your desk. You know what's in it. You know the ingredients.
Everyone will think I'm having cake.
Everyone thinks you're having cake. You can even pretend you're having some cake. And it's just a really good way to fill yourself up in the morning. And you make it on a Saturday or a Sunday, whenever you may have a chance.
Right. I like that
And you
idea.
can
That's
do,
great.
like I say, I do 2 trays at a time. You can do 4 trays.
How long can you freeze stuff for? I mean,
I freeze these up to a month.
a month.
Because
Okay.
that's kind of how long it takes me.
Yeah. Okay. That's good.
Make 'em?
That's good to know.
All
Very
right, so there's your first thing.
good. Okay. I like
Right?
that. I think I can do that.
You can do that. You can definitely do that. So next, we're gonna do oatmeal.
Okay.
Everybody knows oatmeal is good for us, all
Yes.
right? My problem is I don't have time in the morning to take it out, put it on the stove, or cook it, or I really don't even have time to microwave it. All right, so this is what I do. These are quick oats. But
Okay.
you can use steel cut. Steel cut's even better for you. And what you do is, they're called overnight oats. And the tool here, in the last one was the muffin tin. This is, you need mason jars. So what we do is I have 3 mason jars here. I like to do 3 because I only really like to eat oatmeal 3 days a week.
Very
so
good.
that's why I do 3.
That's a good
You can
reason.
Really do whatever you want. So the first thing I'm going to do is I do a half cup of oats. These are just the quick oats.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. And I really need a measuring cup. I'm not really good at eyeballing oats.
That looks pretty good to me. I think
Yeah.
that looks pretty good to me.
All right. And the really good thing about doing it in a mason jar, first of all, it's going to keep it very fresh. Second of all, when you do put it in the microwave, if you do want to put it in the microwave, you're not microwaving it in plastic.
Perfect.
Much better to
Much
microwave
better,
it in
yes.
glass. All right, so that's the first thing, half cup oats. All right,
Okay.
I just made 3 breakfasts. Next thing I'm gonna do is put a little honey. I like it to be sweet.
Perfect.
And some cinnamon.
Perfect. Very nice. Ooh, I like it.
All right, and then the last thing I wanna do, you can add any type of fruit you want. Blueberries, bananas. I'm gonna do bananas because that's what I have.
So you
And
put the fruit in there, and it's probably a stupid question, but you put that in there before before you put it in the microwave, you can do that like
I'm
that?
doing this right like this, yeah?
Perfect.
So this is 1 banana for 3.
Okay.
Because I don't really want all the carbs and the sugar from the banana because I have
Right.
enough carbs and sugar from my oatmeal, but I want
Okay.
to sweeten it up a little without putting any sugar.
Perfect.
All right, so there we go. Okay, so now what we do is we just take the tops of the mason jars, and I do it pretty tight. And then I put them in the fridge, just like this.
Okay.
Now, sometimes that banana starts to look a little brown, but that's simply just because I put all that cinnamon on it. It
Right.
stays very fresh. Any fruits that you put in there will stay really, really fresh. All right, so now I have 3 breakfasts.
Now, when you take this, because I'm, do I have to add anything else to it?
Okay, well, there's 2 things you can do. Okay, first thing, especially if these are the steel cut oats, what you do is the night before, you open it up and put in however much water or milk that you want.
Okay.
Or almond milk, whatever you use to reconstitute your oatmeal.
Okay.
So I like 3/4 water. That's how I like it. So you take 3/4 water and you pour it in.
Pour
The
it
night
in.
before. You have time for that?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And again, you just close it back up.
Because you're doing it at night. Put it in
Doing
there
it
at
at
night,
night.
done.
Put it back in. Now, when you wake up in the morning, this will be made.
Okay.
Fully made. You can do it with quick oats, but really do it with steel cut oats because that takes about 15-20 minutes on a stove.
Okay.
To do.
That's awesome.
So that will be made. Another thing you could do is if you do have access to a microwave and have a minute and 30 seconds, you can just take one with you, pour the water in, and microwave it. But make sure you take that top off.
Yeah, a minute and 30 seconds in the morning, that's a lot of time.
Right,
for somebody.
sometimes that's a lot of time. If you do it the night before, that's when you can eat it on the turnpike.
Right, exactly.
Okay. So, but again, you've just made 3 at one time,
That's
they're made.
really good.
Because we really don't have time in the morning to pour in the oats and the water and microwave it and the cinnamon and banana.
I think the more that you can do at night,
Right.
it just works
And I
out
do
so much
this on
better.
the weekend, and then I have 3 breakfasts.
That's great. That's really good. Really
All right?
good. I like that a lot.
Sounds good. Things
I like
that you
it a
can
lot.
definitely do. You have a minute and 30 seconds, and you have time on the weekend.
I can do that.
All
I
right.
can do it.
Sounds good. All right, on to the next.
So before you get to your next thing, I want to show you what I eat for lunch almost every day during the week.
Okay.
Just because it's really convenient. And it says it's organic, so I'm thinking that and it says organic and low fat. So I'm thinking that it's kind of healthy, but I really want to get your opinion on it.
Okay.
So what do you
And
think?
you said it's quick and easy. This is something.
It's quick and easy. I put it in the microwave for
Okay.
2 minutes and 35 seconds.
All
And,
So
and
you do
boom.
have some minutes. All right, so let me see. So it's an organic
I eat it at my
burrito.
desk.
You eat it at your desk. All right, so 260 calories. That's fine. Total fat is 1 gram. None from trans fat. Again, that's fine. Sodium, 490 milligrams. That's not so fine. Carbs, 48 grams. That's okay. You're going to certainly get that from a lunch. And 7 grams of fiber. That's awesome. That's from the beans.
Okay.
And then 13 grams of protein. That's also pretty good. Okay, because that's what's going to keep you full. So as far as nutritional content, it doesn't look that bad to me. But then I'm looking at the ingredients. All right, when it comes to ingredients, less is more, and the more you can pronounce it, even better. That's one of my #1 rules. All right, so let me look at this. All right, so I can pronounce organic brown rice. I can pronounce chili. I can pronounce sea salt. And I can pronounce tomatoes.
Okay,
All
that's
right.
good.
Do you know what calcium phosphate is?
No,
No, neither do I. Do you know what carotenyl color is?
no, it sounds kind of gross
No.
actually.
And what about modified natural flavors?
Modifying natural flavors. I don't know. It doesn't sound very
Right.
good to me.
Doesn't
no.
sound so good.
No.
So it's just very processed, lots of preservatives, which you can tell by 490 milligrams of sodium.
Right.
Is it going to keep you full? Probably. Right? Is it easy?
Yes.
Certainly. Is it better than going out for fast food? Absolutely. But can we make a meal ahead of time for 5 days that has 48 grams of carbs, 7 grams of fiber, and at least 13 grams of protein? Absolutely.
Okay. That's what I'm here for. That's what I
Sounds
want to
good?
know.
All right. So again, we're going to use mason jars.
Okay.
All right? We have some big mason jars, and then we have some little mason jars.
Perfect.
All right. The difference is size, obviously, but I use the small ones all the time, and I just pack it in.
Pack it
as
in.
much as I can.
Packs
All
it
right. So you need a mason jar because mason jars keep things fresh. That's what you need that as your tool. So the first thing we're gonna do is you put your dressing or your oil or whatever you want right in the bottom, and however much you want. I personally like a teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil.
Okay.
People use dressing. People will make up their own. You can use anything you really want, but you want to put that in the very bottom.
Okay.
All right.
Got that.
Now the next thing is your lettuce. You can
Okay.
use any kind of lettuce. You can use iceberg. This is romaine. I like to use spinach because I use the same bag that I use for my mason jars as I did for my eggs.
Perfect.
Okay? So what you do is put as much as you like. Like I said, I like to really shove it in there. And this is pre-washed. So here we're doing 3 jars of the bigger ones. I a lot of times do 5 jars of the smaller ones because I use it for 5 days in a week.
Okay.
Okay, so there's your salad, your lettuce.
Okay.
Next thing, let's do some carrots. Are you gonna help me?
Yes.
And you just use as much as you want. I mean, this is just a regular tossed salad.
Aren't the more colors the better?
More colors, the better. Yep, absolutely. All foods that are orange have the same nutrients. All foods that are red have the same nutrients. you probably wouldn't have thought, but an apple and tomatoes have the same nutrients.
Really?
Anything, that's what we always say, eat from the rainbow. Make sure
Okay.
you get all your colors.
Right.
Exactly.
That's
so
very
like
good to know.
carrots and pumpkin have the same colors.
Okay.
Yep,
Very
exactly.
good. Very
or
good.
the same nutrients. All right, so
So-
there's our carrots. All right, next thing, we're gonna do some beans.
Little black beans.
And black beans. And just do as much as you want. I'll probably do 2 tablespoons.
Very good. That's the protein.
There's your protein. You can also do grilled chicken. You could get some really nice deli slices.
Like turkey.
Turkey, whatever you want. This is just the idea of how to make these by layering these salads and doing them well ahead of time.
And you could probably put romaine and spinach because romaine's
Absolutely.
pretty nutrient dense, right?
Absolutely.
And then spinach. Okay.
whatever you like. But again, you almost want to make it as easy as possible.
Right, right.
So streamlining is sometimes better. All right, this is quinoa that we made ahead of time. Again, a lot of times people like a little carb in their
Right.
salad. So instead of using pasta, quinoa has a lot of protein. And again, I'm just doing 2 tablespoons. All right, and see how pretty that looks?
It looks really good. Really good.
All right. Now, we did some hard-boiled eggs. Now, I don't use a whole egg per salad because a lot of times I eat eggs for breakfast.
Right.
So this was 2 hard-boiled eggs for 3 jars.
That's perfect.
Okay. A lot of times we can put in an avocado, but make sure it's ripe. Like
Okay.
this one we can't use because it's not ripe. But that's a really good thing to put in there. And then tomatoes. These are cherry tomatoes. You could also use the yellow cherry tomatoes, more of a color.
It's in there for you. I like it. I like it a lot.
Okay, and then the last thing, a lot of times people do like to use nutritional yeast.
That's all
Okay.
your B vitamins.
B vitamins, you can put that in there. You can also put some sesame seeds, whatever you like. And I really like mine to be really packed and to the top.
Well, your jar that you usually use the smaller
I
jars,
usually
right?
use the smaller jars. But these are also really good for dinners.
Right.
It'd be a good dinner for even 2 people, right?
Yeah.
You make 3 of these. On Sunday, you have a salad every night for you and your husband for dinner.
That's really a good idea.
All right, so then what we're gonna do, is take it, and I do close them, really tight.
Really tight.
I mean, I
Okay.
don't have a sealer or anything like that. It doesn't have to be boiled or,
Right. So it
not
doesn't
like
have
how
to-
Grandma used to make sauce. But we do seal them really tight. And when you take this jar out, you put them all in the fridge. When you take it out to eat it 4 or 5 days later, I take the top off, and I have to pop it off, and you hear the pop.
But that's good though.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
And it
Okay.
is so fresh and so delicious. Avocado does not turn brown. If you put fruit in it, like an apple, does not turn brown.
That's
and it's
awesome.
such a good way to make salads ahead of time because no one has time in the morning.
Right.
And you're
Well,
too
this would be
tired at
impossible.
night.
Yeah, this would be impossible to do every single
Right,
morning.
every single morning.
But if you do it like one day, pick a day,
Right.
do it, and then you have your lunch for the next 3, 4, 5, however many days you want to
I
do
do
it for.
5. Exactly.
That's
and
really,
also,
really good.
it's one mess.
Right.
One mess. That's why I
Right.
also said that the spinach, I do it in my eggs, and I do it here. Well, it's one mess.
That's
one mess
perfect.
of cutting it up.
And you have a portion control.
Portion control.
That's huge.
Exactly. And you transport it in glass, not plastic, which is
Right.
always better for you.
I love this. I
Yeah.
absolutely love this idea. Sorry, burrito.
Yeah, burrito might, or just for Fridays or something like that.
Like occasionally instead of every day. This
Right.
is so much better.
That's
so much
also
better.
sometimes, I always make 5. Once in a while, I won't eat one for lunch for some reason or another. So I'll have an extra one. So on Saturday afternoon when I'm home, what do I take out of the fridge and eat? Exactly. If I was home, I would never make a salad on a
Right.
Saturday afternoon.
Exactly.
But if it's there, I'll eat it. And I'm telling you, just because I made it the Saturday before, it's super fresh.
Super fresh.
Super fresh. And it's
That's-
just such a great tool.
That's
But
really
you
good.
need the mason jars.
Definitely. That's the key.
That's the key.
That's
mason
the
jars,
key.
because that's what keeps it fresh.
Well,
All right.
that's very good. Very, very good. I'm
All
very
right.
happy about this.
I'm gonna be checking to see if you're doing it. All right, and then the last thing is like a dessert or a snack, something you can keep in a car, anything like that. And I, again, do it in the mason jars because it keeps this fresh. This is also Florida. We have bugs. We have
Yes.
humidity.
Yes.
All that kind of stuff. So it does keep it really fresh. So you can use mason jars just for any snacks, but I'm gonna kind of combine them all together and make a portion-controlled trail mix.
That's perfect.
All right, sounds good. So the first thing, again, here's just my mason jar.
Put them up.
Just put some peanuts or almonds or whatever you want.
So how many do you think?
I just put a couple in. Yeah. Then I'm gonna put some nice granola.
This is my favorite part.
Yeah, so that we do in limitation. Those are carob chips.
Limitation. Oh, okay.
Or moderation. If you
Moderation.
like moderation
All right,
better.
Moderation.
That's good. Yep.
This is great for kids too.
It's very good for kids. And then again, what I do is then I layer it.
Oh, layer it. I like the layering part.
Okay. I layer it up.
More of these.
You can also buy like this kind of mason jar would also be really good
Yeah.
for
But
doing
how much do
snacks.
you eat? You can't eat
Okay.
this whole jar.
You're right.
I mean, you can.
All right. So now, if you want to just store it so the bugs don't get it, we just,
Oops.
go like that.
That good.
And now you've got this great snack. All right. But for myself for lunch, so I make 1 or 2 of these on a weekend.
Okay.
Okay. For the whole week. And then what I do is I portion it out into 2-ounce cups.
Okay. I knew there had to be a trick.
These are really good. All right. And they're all 2 ounce. So now because it's all layered, I just fill it up.
And how many calories do you think that is about?
That's about 250.
That's 250? Really?
Well, peanuts are high in calories.
This little thing
Granola is
is
high in
250.
calories. And carob chips are high in calories. It's sugar and carbs. But that's why we're doing it in the right portion. And there we go. There's a nice little snack. Great for your purse. Great to put in your kid's lunchbox.
That is, you're right.
you know.
Excellent. Very good.
And
very
again,
good.
you
I
can
like
do
these.
10 of these at a time and have 10 snacks.
Perfect.
2 weeks worth of lunches or your lunch or what have you.
Yeah.
All right, now so for your lunch, you have your mason jar salad, you have your snack, and you need a piece of fruit.
And then you're ready to go.
And you're ready to go.
Okay. Very
All
good.
right.
Very good. Okay, so now what I want to know is what other tips do you have for us? Do you have, any
Like-
other tips for making, what else? What else do you have?
Like making something quicker.
Making
and
something
faster.
quicker, like with general food, just everything.
Everything. All right, dinners too, because dinners is a lot.
Dinners is huge, 'cause I hate dinner.
We touch on dinner in our next video.
Okay.
All right. But as far as dinner recipes, what I like to do is I make double and I freeze half.
Okay, that's
There we
very
go.
good. That's very
For
good.
like a night when I know I'm not gonna have time to make dinner or baseball games and stuff like that.
So like say on Sunday you make a sauce or you make something,
make double.
Make double of
Again,
it.
it's the same mess.
right. It's
the
one
same
mess and then you, okay, I like that.
All
That's
right,
good.
so always
That's very
making double. Or if you're just making what you're making, save half for lunch the next day.
good. Okay,
You could do that also.
that's a good thing.
Okay. Another thing is, I'm sure you've heard a lot about meal planning.
Yes.
Planning out your meals, making 10 meals on Sunday, along with your lunches, things like that. I mean, you really do need to say this. You also save a lot of money that way because you don't waste things. So meal planning is a big thing.
Yeah, no, you're right. Because you use everything when you do it like this.
Exactly.
That's really
And then
good.
if you had enough for another salad, you'd make another salad.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
Instead of
Because you're here. You have
you're
everything
here
here.
and you're doing
Right.
it. Another thing is pick one grain for the week. All right.
Okay.
Pick whole wheat pasta or quinoa or
Okay.
your rice, whole wheat rice, and make 5 batches. Okay, instead of 1 for each night. Now you have 5. It can stay in the fridge for at least up to 5 days, and now that's at least one part of your dinner that is made.
That's a very good idea.
Okay.
Very
yes,
good idea.
you are eating the same thing for 5 nights, but you're going to add your proteins and your different veggies.
Yeah, you can
and all
change
that.
it up. You can
that
change it up.
part
You can do a lot of things with, I know, pasta. You can do a lot of different things with pasta. You can do a lot of things with quinoa. You could do,
Exactly. And also by having it made, you're much more apt to portion it correctly. Because
Okay.
you want it to keep throughout the week.
Right,
You won't
right.
have
Very
enough.
good. That's a very good tip.
Another thing is morning smoothies. You talked about your green juice, right?
Yes.
Okay, green juice, you just grab it out. Well, a smoothie is almost sometimes even a little better because it does have the fiber and
Right.
it does have protein.
So it's like filling. It's more like a meal.
More like a meal.
Right.
But you have time to make it in the morning.
No, we already
No.
talked about that.
Right, you don't have time to make it in the morning. So there are 2 things for smoothies. First thing is you can make double the batch.
Okay,
Double the batch and save half for tomorrow.
very good.
Okay. Another thing is you can do it the night before. Put everything in your little blender cup, put it in the fridge, and then in the morning all you have to do is add your water or your ice or whatever.
I
comes
like
along
that.
with it.
I like that a
And
lot.
make double because again,
Right.
1 mess, 2 days.
That's perfect.
Okay.
Or if you're, what about for your child?
child,
It's
yeah.
me and my daughter, so I
Right.
can make, and that's
And
yeah,
split it.
good.
But
Yeah,
again,
split.
do it the night before Because you don't really
one
have
less
time in the
thing.
morning.
Right, exactly.
All
I
right?
like that. I do.
The time in the morning, probably to plug it in.
Right.
That's about it. Also, when you go to the grocery store, as soon as you get home, take your lettuce, take your strawberries, take your blueberries, cut them all up and wash them all and put them into containers right then and there. Because then you're so much more apt to eat a strawberry if you have to go wash it and cut it.
It's
if
all
they're
done.
there in containers, they're done.
And you're right when you come home, because the stuff, when you bring your groceries in, your counter's got all this stuff
Exactly.
anyway. You might as well just cut it up, make
Right,
one mess,
before you
done.
even put it in the fridge.
I like it. That's
right.
good.
That's a really good thing to do. All right, now for dinner. All right, like I said, we don't really go into any dinner things here.
Right.
But if you are coming home and cooking a dinner, one thing you can do is increase the temperature if you're baking by 25 degrees. That does cook things quicker. Now, if you're baking, certainly don't do that. But if
Okay.
you're making any sort of meats or proteins, you can always increase it by 25 degrees. And that will do
That's
it
good to know.
quicker.
Very good.
Another thing to do is use your toaster oven. People don't use their toaster ovens quite enough.
Okay.
You can make a whole chicken in a toaster oven.
A whole chicken.
Or fish or whatever protein you want. And it doesn't take as long to heat up, and it cooks it quicker because it's much smaller.
Okay, that's awesome. That's
All
very
right?
good to know. Yes.
And another thing with the toaster oven also is just if you're having cooked carrots or celery or anything like that, cut them really small. Smaller they are, quicker they're going to cook.
Quicker they're going to cook. Very
Quicker
good.
they're
Very
gonna
good. I think they taste better too.
And they can taste better. Yeah, exactly. Another thing is if you are microwaving something, like if you're microwaving rice or even frozen veggies, if you're using frozen veggies, put a wet paper towel on top. If you put a wet paper towel on top, that moisture and that steam is going to cook it quicker.
Wet paper towel.
Wet paper towel.
Very nice to know.
Another thing I like to do, I've done this many times, read the whole recipe before you actually start doing it, because sometimes you might even find some little tips.
Okay.
Throughout, instead of doubling up on things.
Okay.
All right. With your meat and your fish, if you have time, take it out of the fridge 30 minutes before you want to make it. Just put it on the counter. It warms up to room temperature. Again, it's going to cook much quicker.
Okay.
All right. Any little time you have to save.
Right.
To save.
Exactly.
And in saving time, make sure you preheat the oven when you're prepping everything.
Yeah,
'Cause that saves time also.
Right.
Or
That
preheat
would
your
be
toaster
that would
oven.
be part of like reading directions.
Reading
and,
directions
yeah.
and the whole recipe.
Not that I've ever done that before,
Right.
because I would never do anything
But
like
that
that.
is
But
a
you
good
know,
thing.
right.
Preheat the oven. And finally, as far as proteins, you always want to make sure you have enough protein, because most people do not get enough protein. Pretty much every person that comes to my office, I tell them you're not getting enough protein. So as far as our proteins, fish actually cooks the quickest of all the proteins. So if you're looking to do something quicker and healthy, fish is a really good option as far as time saving.
Do you have a type of fish that you would prefer? That you
Salmon. Salmon's really the best, has the most good fats, and has a lot of protein and tastes the best.
Salmon. Okay. Salmon. I
And
do
it's
that.
my favorite. It's always my favorite. So this is all I got.
Well, this is great information. I love my new lunches. I love my new breakfast. I'm really, really going to try to do this. I'm so happy to be putting my burrito to rest here. But I do have one more question. Where else can we get information from? Do you have more information, like a place where we could go to get more information? That,
Sure.
You know.
Well, first of all, you can come in my office.
Okay.
Right? Patients that come in my office, I give them all kinds of information.
Okay.
The other thing I do have is I have a blog. It's called Your Way to Wellness. The link is up on the screen, and I have all kinds of information right on there. I do a post every other Monday, all kinds of topics, and I have the link to these make-ahead breakfast, lunch, dinners, and snacks right on there.
Well, that's great. That's really good. Thank you for your time. Thank you for all this wonderful information.
Sure.
And if you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to call the Health and Wellness Center. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Well, that's it for today's program. I'm Tara Cardoso. Take care.